Walked into the laundry room, okay? You go into the kitchen under the sink. I have a whole bunch of different, like cloths and all that kind of stuff organized in one place, not all over. You walk out in the garage, again, we've got different tools and stuff like that there. You go into the RV. When you go into the RV there, we now have a cask. We have our own hidden cask now in that one. And then where I used to sell them 6 to every customer, not 1 or 2, 6. They 600 gigs. When I used to do parties, I'd say you can buy 1 or 2, but the sad parties, when you get it, your sister sees it, they're going to say, oh, could you get me 2? I want 2. No, it was over because it was only on for 1 week. So you sell to the customers 6 in a case. If they're ordering 2 or 3, say there's 6 in a carton. Is there other people they're going to want after this week, or is there other people that you can think of for gifts? Oh, I forgot to tell you, when in my laundry room up in the cupboards, I have little wall-to-wall cupboards. You know what else is in there? My Christmas ornaments. I knew there was something else. So I have Christmas ornaments in another one, because I just grab it by the handle, take it up, do the Christmas tree, whatever. The other one has all the Christmas, what do we call a garland? So that's full of one of them. And so I can go on and on, because like I said, just about every room has one of these. I've even seen people use this as a garbage can in their office. I've seen it as a garbage bin. And speaking of garbage, so that's a large carry-all. If it ever comes up for sale soon, if it ever comes up for sale, you know that you're.
So this would be a good time to date a party.
This would be a really good time to date a party, and this would be the best time to have a pack a week of parties next week. I would say next week, have a pack a week.
Next week?
Well, I can't tell you when things are coming out. All right, good. Okay. You know what we do at home?
Sonya can't tell us when sales are coming.
If we don't know how to store food properly, we start throwing away money, okay? We walked into, and I'm not even going to the fridge, that's another time, but even going in the cupboards, when I started Custom Kitchen, I'd say to the lady, I'd go an hour before the party, which cupboards do you want me to help you customize? And they'd say that one and that one. I'd open up and there was brown sugar, and then behind something else was brown sugar, and then there was brown sugar, and then there was cornstarch, and then over there's another cornstarch. How much money do you have at the end of each week, month, year to throw away? What did I name? Just 3, 4 products, and they'd have 3, 4 of them, and they were hard as rock. I swear, I said, this is where you keep your weapons, you know? Because they were weapons. That brown sugar, you could kill somebody, okay? But they had 3 or 4, and then I'd help the woman on the farm do her cupboards, and she'd say, I didn't know I had 3 cornstarch. I didn't know I had 4 brown sugar when we pulled everything out, because everything keeps, going back. Well, anyhow, we have a choice in how we store. And so let's go over here and look at the modular mates. You know that we won 15 different government awards, and 5 of them were in Belgium and France years ago. And this was the very first ones that came out, the ovals, sorry, I got the wrong one up, but that's okay. The ovals were the very first ones to come out on the market in 1980, I believe it was, because I was doing parties then. And when they came out, we won government awards because they fit in the cupboards 15 different ways. So it doesn't matter where you move to. I was on Vancouver Island. The builder, when he built our house, I just handed him and I said, I want 3 5 cupboards and a 3 cupboard. And he said, what's a 5 cupboard? I said, they're numbered on the bottom, 1 to 5. So I want a 5 cupboard and I want 2 3s above the stove, because it's a crazy cupboard above the stove, right? So that's a 2. That's a 3. So the 3s, I could go 3 or 2s and a 1. Do you see how that's a 3 cupboard? Everything's numbered 1 to 5. You guys can add 3 and 2 is 5, right? So I could do a 5, a 4 and a 1, a 3 and a 2, or 5 ones. So, did I get that right? Anyhow, so the builder says, why isn't everybody doing this? He was so impressed with my cupboard. We moved to Edmonton, we built another house. Guess what? Handed the modular mates to the builder. The builder's like, why isn't everybody doing this? He said, this is amazing. Did you know that Tupperware designed these to fit from back to the front in your cupboards, in all the standard cupboards? This is amazing. And he couldn't get over the windows, that it's clear and you can see what's inside. Why would you want modular mates? Many reasons. Number 1 is, can you see what's inside? Say yes.
Yes.
Can you see how much is left?
Yes.
Yeah. Can bugs and relatives get in here?
No.
No. Can moisture? No.
No.
Can foods dry out? No.
No.
And so what you want to do is maintain the vitamins and minerals for healthy living. Remember I talked about the pasta? Okay, where you want to keep your pasta, right? Okay, so we have choices on, this is all about preference now, on the size of your cupboard. But I'm going to tell you what I took to my parties. My husband actually thought of this, not me. But we had an old soft suitcase, you know, the soft suitcases you see them in garage sales. Well, you know, they got no legs, and you just, you know, you have to carry it, right? Well, I carried that to parties, but what I did was I unzipped it and I dropped it this way, the suitcase, and then all the modular mates were in there, so they were looking at a cupboard at the party. So I had in one of my bags all the packages and boxes, and then I had that. I just flipped it down at the end of the party, zipped it up, and that was my modular mate parties. Because I did modular mate parties, fridge parties, meal planning, 10 breakfasts in 5 minutes, and what's the last one? I don't know. I did 5 different themes. Okay.
Wine and cheese? I don't know.
That was probably it. So the modular mates are ovals 1 to 5. Again, I can go on and on all night about what you would store in them. Like this is your regular box of Ritz crackers. That's 50 tea bags. 50 tea bags. This is your cornstarch one or your box of salt. I can go on and on and on here. Okay? But, and again, we have charts with all of this, but it's your choice on how you store. What am I doing here? 5 and a 3 and a 2. Oh, you must have one extra here. You do. Okay. So 5, 4. It's throwing me off. Okay, so modular mates are number 1 to 5. And when I used to go to, and I did a lot of farm parties, a lot of country parties, and they would say, help me customize Sonya, because they buy bulk shopping, they don't want mice, they don't want bugs, and you can't run to the store every day when it's 40 below or you're snowed into the yard, right? But you want to be able to cook or make a quick, easy recipe. And so I used to help people customize their cupboards. I said to my husband a while back, I said, honey, and I told my son, what do you guys love the most about being a guy? What do you love the most about the modular mates? Because every one of my cupboards are done. And they said, we can open the doors and see what's inside. And my son says, I liked always helping Mom making the grocery list, because they knew if there was only that much left added to the grocery list. So we were buying because containers were getting empty, not because we were throwing out rotten or dried out and buying fresh. So my son loved it, you could see and add it to the grocery list, just open the doors. And my husband loved it because he could see and find stuff very easily. So today I have a walk-in pantry, and I have also organized my kitchen, because you can organize it. I have what we call a beverage center. It's that crazy narrow cupboard. I don't know if you have one on the side of the sink. To me, it's a wasted cupboard, okay? But you know what's in there? That's my beverage center. I have all my my tea bags, my coffee, I have my iced tea. All of those beverages are just in that one area. If you go above the stove, it's stuff I hardly ever use. So that's why I know I have 2, 4, maybe 6 of those up there, because I have like the bistro, you know, for making gravy, and the chicken one, the salt, the pepper, the cornstarch, wheat. You gotta have wheat, okay, and cornmeal. So those are all above the stove in those crazy little areas. To the right of the stove, when you open the door, what I love about it is I have the spice shakers. You cannot stack 42 packages or 44 packages of spices in your cupboard, can you? And reach the one that you would like. But with the spice shakers, guess what? I just move the 4s around and grab the one I need. So I have, I don't know, 42 or 44, I haven't even counted them, but it's a lot. Well, in this little cupboard, I've got at least 44 spices. You know, I couldn't do that. And I also have the round 3s that come out every so often. I have that with like pancake syrup, the mazola oil, and what's in the third one? Vanilla. Concentrated vanilla I buy in Mexico, because it's beautiful, it's fresh stuff. Okay, so those are in the liquid ones there. You know.
Someone just said they buy tequila in Mexico.
You're Mexican.
I moved my birthday cake into it. I'm kidding. Okay, so oval 1 to 5. So when I used to do people's cupboards, I'm going to show you. I didn't do all this measuring. I'm not technical, and you will not get any more simple than this girl here. So here's how I used to measure a lady's cupboard. So I'll just use that as the top here. So she'd say, can you do this cupboard here? I say, sure. And I'll find out what kind of cupboard you have. So this is the way I used to do it. I go 1, I'll go 1, 2. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You have an 8 across. See how I did that? You have an 8 across and 3 high or 5 high. It depends how big. So I drew that on the paper for her. So I didn't measure, you know, well, you got 3 feet by 8 feet or whatever. I just would do this. That was the way I measured, and I was always right on. Okay? Always right on. And then I'd say, well, you've got a 4 cupboard, or you've got a 4 cupboard. So you can use any combination cord up to 4. Okay, this is above the stove, so you can use 3 and a 1, 4 1s, or 2 and 3s, right across, and they'll all fit. So now the lady knows, and then when they used to call me later, Sonya, I need 2 3s and 2 2s, even my hosts were trained. They knew what they needed, and it was amazing. So we have ovals, okay? The thing I love about the ovals is that you can use them this way depending on the size of your cupboard. And, or you can put things behind that you don't use very often, and you can even put squares in front, so depending on your cupboard, you see? So it depends on how much cupboard space you have. The thing I love about it is people that have hardly any cupboards need these more than the people with cupboards. Because if I took the food out of the cupboard and put them in modular maze, they're going, you were right, you will have one more empty cupboard when I'm done. So if somebody doesn't have much cupboard space, oh, I'd buy this, but I don't have much cupboard space. You need it more than me with the big walk-in closet, right? So they fit behind, sideways. Remember I said they fit different ways. So that's the oval 1 to 5. We have the squares. The squares, I love those. That's my beverage center there. And then in my pantry is all of these. That's all that's in there is these. There's none of those. Those go in the smaller cupboards. But these, I probably have 24 of that size. Maybe about 12 of that, and about 6 or 8 of each of those, because there's only 2 of us in the house now. But this is my favorite for snacks. And listen, when you walk in my pantry, the whole top is snacks, and every kid and grandkid and nephew and niece knows where to go. Anti-snack or snack shelf. So it's got everything like the chips, the nachos, the popcorn, all that, granola bars, whatever, right? And then when you go down one, reality hits you, it's all the different cereals. So it's a little bit of a shift. But all the cereals in the super ovals. So we've got the different cereals now, but I also, right beside it, I have things like my crackers, the whole big box of crackers. I have the Ritz crackers and the snack crackers. I'm just trying to think what's all across. Oh, all my porridges or the packet instant, what do they call that? Oatmeal. Yeah, I have that too for quick, easy recipes, even though I make homemade the old-fashioned way. I still have a whole, you know, I buy by the case at Costco. They all fit in there, so they're organized. I also have one labeled soups and one spices, okay? So those are all there. And then when you go down to the next two, that's when you start hitting the flour and the sugar. This one is the sugar there, so the flour, the sugar, all my whites, and that kind of thing. And then when you go to the very bottom one, that's loaded with all the different pastas, okay? The thing I love about these, this holds a 4-kilogram box of spaghetti, so that one I use the most of, and the versamilli for the homemade soups. The rest are like lasagna and that I don't use as often. So they're sitting at the end. I put right in front of me what I'm using all the time. I'm like the store. You know, the store, whatever they want you to sell, puts it eye level, right? Okay, the most expensive is usually at eye level. Look up or down, it's a lot cheaper. But I have it the opposite way. It's the stuff we use the most is always right in the middle. Because my husband is 6'3", so you'll never find pasta down there. Okay. Okay. So anyhow, again, it depends on the size of your family and what your preference is. But the thing with these modular mates, you guys, why you want them is because customers get frustrated. They can't see what's inside. You got company in the other room. You open a box of Ritz crackers, and there's 2 left. Okay, that's not going to happen with these because all you do is open the cupboard and add to your list. I don't even have to dig or poke around packages. My whole family loves that. So you can see what you need when you need it. You're going to add to it because that's what you need. When we wash them, we don't throw them in a Tupperware cupboard. Because there's a difference of having a Tupperware cupboard or Tupperware in the cupboard. So when we wash them, they go back. We have labels on them. If I throw this in the Tupperware cupboard, how am I going to know I need sugar? And then when I do need sugar or flour or whatever, I'm not going to know. I'm going to go make a recipe and I don't have that half a cup of sugar or whatever I need for the recipe. Okay? Speaking of sugar, we go through maybe a cup a year. We do not use very much sugar or salt. But I'm just saying that. Okay, but homemade cookies, that kind of thing, I can go on and on and on. I'll use it as organizers even in my office. Okay, and for kids stuff. So we have the rectangles, 1 to 4, we have the squares, and we have the super ovals. The biggest thing customers like is they can see what's inside, when to shop, how much is left. The other thing customers like is no bugs and all the relatives can get in, no air can get in or out, and no dryness. The biggest savings you can have in your home is to invest in these, because this is called an investment, and you will get dividend after dividend. You will save over $1,500 in your first year with your bulk shopping, and then after that you're going to get dividend after dividend. So the first time you buy and do your cupboards, you will get your money back 3 times over in that first year. That's better than an insurance policy. So I hope that I've helped you feed your families healthier, save money, save time, save waste, and that's it. Thank you very much. I hope that I helped you.
Thank you very